that little town, they were lost and never found. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves on the ground.
Hey, what's up everyone? Here's Gors month before number 17, and this time I'm reviewing the last edition, supposedly, of the Saw franchise, Saw 3D. Now, before I get into the film, let me say, this is going to be an unedited review, so if you're looking for something that's edited, go away. So you know what, let's get straight into the story of Saw 3D. Okay, now the story in Saw 3D, I'm going to explain it as easy as I can because the story is kind of blah. I'll say right here, the story in Saw, the whole series, was actually pretty good in the beginning. Saw 1 had a pretty interesting story. The second one and the third one was really good. And the sixth one I thought was really good. The fourth and the fifth one, blah. I mean really blah. And so is this one. This one is pretty much Jigsaw's apprentice is still killing people. Jigsaw's been dead. He's still killing people. Cops are still trying to look for him. And something happens at the end. There you go. There's the story, everybody. And the side story in this is a kind of like a self-help guru. Not really like that, but he's like a self-help guru for Jigsaw, pretty much, for people that have been in Jigsaw traps and survived. And he wrote a book and blah blah blah, and you find out his deep dark secret later on while he's in an actual Jigsaw trap, like while he's going through and deciding on who lives and who dies. Not really deciding, but like trying to save them, but epically failing at it. And you've seen that in Saw 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it's the same thing. So it's the same thing from those, blah. With a lot of gore, obviously. So let me get on to what I liked about the film, because I don't even want to talk about the story anymore. Okay, two things right here I liked about Saw is the 3D and the gore. The gore, well, the blood and gore was fantastic. I mean, the practical effects, that's why I really kind of like Saw, because of their practical effects. They do a great job with it. There was some CG blood here and there, sure, but most of it was practical. And top it off, you have 3D. Some pretty good 3D, because all that blood and gore, that the meat chunks flying everywhere, come right at your face, and it looks really, really cool. Like freaking meat chunks flying everywhere at your face, blood, it's right there. I can't wipe off my glasses and stuff, my 3D glasses, no. It's like blood everywhere. So if you couldn't tell, I like the 3D and the gore. So what else did I like in Saw 3D? The traps in the film, most of them are really, really cool. There's one in the beginning and one at the end that was really cool, and there's one that has to involve a guy's back pretty much glued to a seat of a car, and that's all I'm going to tell you. It was really good. It was a really good freaking trap, and that's actually one of my favorites of the Saw series, because there's a whole lot of blood in that one. So yeah, the traps can go with the blood and gore, because when there's a trap, there's obviously going to be some blood and some gore. So yeah, I don't think there was actually one trap in this film that didn't have some blood to go with it. So, or in the whole Saw series, I'm pretty sure. So there you go. I like the traps. What else did I like? Well, Tobin Bell, for the 2 seconds he's in the film, was actually really good. If you don't know, he plays Jigsaw, and really has one flashback scene and a whole bunch of other scenes you've seen in other movies, in other Saw movies, and that's really it. So very short scene for him. And I kind of liked Sean Patrick Flannery's character. He was okay. And what's his name? Cary Elwes. I can never pronounce his last name, and I know people are going to write on the comments, it's pronounced like this. So yeah, Cary Elwes, who's the Princess Bride. Come on, he's the main guy in Princess Bride. He was Robin Hood Men in Tights. He's badass. He was in the first Saw. He was the one who started Saw, pretty much. He was the main guy in Saw 1. So come on. Anyway, he's in this film, and he's pretty freaking menacing when he's there. And I gotta tell you, he hasn't aged that well. He's a little bigger, like he's a little fatter. He's a little chunkier, but he still looks badass. So he's good in it. So let me talk about what I didn't like about Saw 3D. Like I said before, the story is just blah. There's no way to describe it besides blah. Okay, well, I'll explain it a little bit. I didn't like the story because really it just made Saw 6 look like nothing. I mean, it made Saw 6 pointless, to be honest, because the beginning of this film is right off from where Saw 6 ended, and there was nothing that was resolved in it. They don't really talk about anybody that was in Saw 6. They mention one character for like half a second, and that's it. So really, Saw 6 was pointless. It had nothing. There was nothing in Saw 6. And I love Saw 6. I really do. Well, I don't love it. I like it a lot. But they really just kind of forget about it. And it's the same director as Saw 7, so I was thinking maybe, he would piece together this and that from it, bring some characters from there and bring them here. Nope, most of the characters died from Saw 6, and they never are mentioned again besides the Costas Mandylor character and the Jigsaw's wife. So there you go. Story, didn't really like because of that point right there. The rest of the acting is just pretty bad, I'll say. Costas Mandylor, who is the apprentice in the film, he's not very good. He's blah. I like saying that word, blah. I forgot her name, Betsy Russell, I think her name is, who plays Jigsaw's widowed wife. Not very good. I couldn't wait until she died in all the freaking Saw films because I didn't like her one bit. And yeah, so I didn't like her. And everybody else besides Sean Patrick Flannery, Carrie Elways, and Tobin Bell for the half second he's there is just, I'll say it, blah. So there you go, blah. What else did I not like? There are a couple of traps here and there that I didn't really like, mostly because they were just simple old, someone gets hung or something like that, or someone gets a bunch of pipes through their necks, and it's like, we've seen this all before in other movies, and they don't do it any spectacular way here. They have some blood in there, sure, but there's only a couple traps that are like this. And there's one scene where a guy's just going around like slitting people's throats and stuff, and that was actually pretty bloody. But still, we've seen that in shit. We've seen that in other films that aren't horror films. So yeah, some of the traps are a little weak, and just overall, I can't think of anything else I didn't like about Saw 3D because this is really a mixed bag. I like the 3D, the gore, and some of the acting is good. Some of the acting's bad, some of the traps are bad, and really, a lot of the acting is pretty blah. So, blah. Yeah, I love that word, blah. Overall, Saw 3D isn't a bad way to end the series like it's ever going to end, but fine. If they want to call it the final chapter, then hopefully it is, because they did wrap it up pretty good in this film, even though the acting wasn't all that great. So, hopefully they decide to end it here, but if not, then I guess why not have another blood gory film? Because, blood and gore done right in 3D is pretty freaking sweet. So, you know what? I'll give it a 7.2 out of 10. If they decide to make a sequel, of course I'll see it. I'll see anything. But if they don't, then I won't be, I won't be sad. So 7.2 out of 10, not a bad addition to the Saw franchise, but not the best, obviously. So yeah. Thank you, and goodbye.